it's Abby here at Craft Industry Alliance. Hope you're having a fabulous Wednesday. We come to you live every Wednesday to do our member spotlight, where we have an opportunity to drop in on an amazing Craft Industry Alliance member and learn more about them. And today, not only is the of our Golden Scissors Awards, which are an annual award set of awards that we give out at H&H Americas. And I'm very excited to talk to Sebastian from Famore Cutlery. Hi, Sebastian. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you again. And I was just saying that you are going to be a sponsor of the Golden Sisters Awards this year, and I'm really excited. You've Famore Cutlery has been part of the Golden Sisters from the very beginning, and in
Mhm.
fact makes the actual Golden Sisters. So tell us a little bit about the actual awards that you're crafting for the winners, and then we'll go back and talk a little bit more about what you do in general.
Absolutely. So the award scissors that we've been using for the last few years for special events like this one are completely handmade. Uh, Goes through quite a few months of actually manufacturing processes. It's all hand ground, hand polished, and then hand stamped. So the really intricate details on the handles, those are all stamped by hand. So it's a very special scissor that we don't even sell. This is just kind of like a passion that we have, kind of pushing the art of making scissors as far as we can.
That's amazing. And they're so beautiful. They come in a wooden box and they're engraved with the name of the award as well as the award winner's name. And we give them out live on stage. So if you would like to join us for that ceremony, it will be it's Wednesday, May 6th at 8:30 a.m. at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center. And we have 5 award winners. The other thing about these scissors is they're not small.
No, they are 12 inches, so they're pretty large. You know, they're very heavy too. I mean, it's a very thick gauge of steel that we use to create these scissors. So they're kind of larger than life,
Yeah,
but the winners are also larger than life. So it is a very appropriate award. And it's a functional award. We like to say that we are fortunate enough that we produce functional products that you can also make awards out of.
that's right. And the reason why, when our board was coming up with this awards program, the reason why we decided on calling it the Golden Scissors, golden, obviously, we get that piece, but scissors are a tool that every craft uses. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter what you're doing, you're always in some way, shape, or form going to need scissors. And so we felt like it was sort of multi-craftual. It spans across everybody, and it's something everybody can relate to. And that is very identified with being a crafter.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right. So tell us a little bit about Famore Cutlery overall. What do you sell? What do you make? What's special about it?
So the passion for Famore and the brand, the quality that we put into it, uh, comes from Brent Finizza, who's our founder. He's kind of embodies the craft industry himself really well, and I think that carries over into Famore, the brand. Our tools are primarily cutting tools. We do have some non-cutting tools, but I'd say about 99% of what we make is a tool that helps the crafter in intricate precision cutting, or just kind of big cuts, right? And I mentioned big cuts because we're bringing back our batting shear. So our Famore batting shear had taken a bit of a hiatus as we did some retooling with it. And that will be coming out here in the next couple months. It's on the water, somewhere on the ocean. It's on its way to us, and we're really excited to reintroduce this really wonderful tool. Um, the kind of the cornerstone of Famore is our quality, our pricing, and our customer service. So when our customers reach out to us, they're going to get a human response Of course, because it is human, it's a Monday to Friday kind of response. Sometimes it's after hours. We tried to kind of keep it within a certain time frame, but we stand by the product, so we have a very strong warranty. I think one of the strongest warranties in the industry, where if there is any manufacturer's defect, we do replace that product no matter how old it is. That customer could have bought it 10, 20 years ago, and if there is a true defect in the manufacturing for that product, we do replace it. And aside from that, we have the reconditioning and sharpening service that customers can take advantage of,
Oh, that's
which
great.
also I feel like is very comprehensive compared to kind of what is out there with other brands as well. So we are not the biggest, but we definitely pack a punch when it comes to that quality and that customer service. And in the last few years, we've been making a play or a foray into the rotary blade and cutter in space, which, just like the scissor business, which is pretty saturated, is the same with the rotary blade business. But we felt like we could kind of reinvent the wheel a bit. And adding those ball bearings to our cutters has really made a difference in the experience that our customers are having with our products. Same with the blades. We something that I don't think a lot of folks know is how much research and development goes into every single product we produce. The rotary cutter handles were about a 5-year endeavor
Wow.
before we got to the final product, and we're still tooling and working on improving that original design. Um, and we're coming out with some more styles and a new size. I don't know that I can really speak too much on that new size or what it will be, but we've gotten the samples. We're pretty happy with um, the prototype. Hopefully in 2027, this is something that we can finally have here, for our customers to try out and experience. Um, we also are one of the only brands that has the kind of expansive left-handed offering of products that we do, and they're precision products. I think you can find an 8-inch left-handed scissor all day long, or a 6-inch duckbill applique, but a double curved embroidery left-handed scissor, I think we're the only ones who are making them, and we make two sizes of that. We do make three sizes of the left-handed duckbill applique scissors, which I don't think anyone makes the middle and the smallest either. And we also have the arrow point scissor that we have on the right-handed, we replicated in left-handed. So that all leads to hopefully eventually a kit, a left-handed kit.
Wow.
Um, this is something that our left-handed customers have been asking about because we do have them in right-handed. We have two embroidery kits and one sewing kit. And something that we also do very well is listening to the input from our customers.
Right.
Um, sure, we get one-off requests, but if we hear something enough times, we're going to listen to that customer. We're never going to assume that we know more than the customer when it comes to what their needs are for their crafting and what makes their crafting more comfortable and a better experience.
That's fantastic. And I'm a big believer in investing in really good tools. And scissors are one of those tools where it might be a little bit more expensive up front, but if you have a good pair of scissors, you can have that good pair of scissors for a really long time if you take care of it. So tell us a little bit more. I'm interested in the sharpening and
Sure.
reconditioning service because I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so nothing's going to stay sharp forever. I think anybody who claims that is selling you snake oil. So, um, a standard 8-inch shear, if it's properly used and doesn't hit a pin or fall on the ground, should stay sharp for about 5 to 6 years. Um, smaller scissors tend to get a little more use because we are usually snipping a lot of, um, threads or just kind of little cuts here and there. So we have a lifetime sharpening warranty for all the Famore branded products where the customers can send a couple or a few of them and they just have to pay for the return shipping.
I see.
For non-branded, there is a fee, and they can go on our website and see what those fees are, depending on the style of
Okay.
scissor that it is. We also do rotary blade reconditioning and sharpening as well.
Wow.
So, some of these blades are higher end blades. They're a little more expensive. So, sending them in for sharpening, you can get a whole lot more life out of it, and also the expense of it is less, especially if you send like a stack of 10.
Great.
If you buy an endurance blade from Olfa, I can't think off the top of my head what it is retail, but it's definitely worth sending in and sharpening it for about $4.
Absolutely.
Um,
Plus, you can keep your blade instead of throwing it in a landfill and having to buy more. So, I
correct.
think it's great. You know, when you invest in good tools, you enjoy using them, you have them for a long time. And the other thing about crafting is we all have like, I mean, I'm looking at my tool bin right now. I think there's 15 pairs of scissors in there because you end up with a collection of them because there's different ones
Yes.
for different purposes. So, I mean, maybe there's a crafter out there who has one pair of scissors. God bless you. But most of us have so many pairs.
Yes. And I mean, as you say that, I'm looking at my literal collection of scissors that are antique scissors that I will find and sometimes draw inspiration from because they really don't make them like they used to. And sometimes you find a pair of a 60-year-old pair of scissors and it still feels smooth as the day came out of the manufacturer. And so we try to strive for that ourselves. We can be here at Famore tougher critics than any other customer. Anything a customer has ever had a critique for, we have about 10 others that we feel about the product that we could do better
Yeah, absolutely. And you will be at H&H Americas this year. You've been there all the years.
from the
And
beginning.
yeah, since the beginning, which, you know, is amazing because it was a brand new show and it's like, what is
Yep.
this? How is it going to work? But you took a risk and took a bet on it, which we really appreciate. And so tell us a little bit about what you'll be showing at the show this year and where your booth will
Mm.
be, et cetera.
So I can't remember off the top of my head where I am in the show, but H&H does a great job of putting an interactive map.
Yes.
So find us there under specialty product sales and Famore, because we do also manufacture. So we're kind of there as two-part Famore and specialty product sales.
Okay.
Um, I will be heavily involved with the cosplay contest this year. We are every year involved with the cosplay contest, but this year I'll be judging, so I'll be spending a whole day.
So fun.
Um, yeah, I'm excited for it. I do feel confident that I can judge these contests now. It's been, I think, now a decade that I've been in that cosplay space, so I think I can discern what is good craftsmanship and what is maybe needing more polishing. Um, so besides that, we will have a whole lot of samples from our factories. So whenever we come to a show like H&H, we bring things that normally you don't see out, on your day to day because we're kind of throwing everything in the kitchen sink at it to see what our customers might gravitate towards. This gives us a chance to kind of get a feel for what a new style of scissor might be perceived, like will it actually work out? We're working on some spring-loaded products.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
we're we're always conscious of the kind of physical constraints that our customers have,
Yes.
and putting springs on our scissors, I know that we can do it better than what's out there, and I know that we can bring a product that will last a lot longer. So,
I loved my spring-loaded scissors, and then one of my children got a hold of them, and there's no spring anymore in my spring-loaded scissors, so I need
Right.
a pair. So that sounds great.
Right. Yeah. And I want to make three different sizes because there's a need for three different, we have found over all the years that there's always, you always need the mini with
Yeah,
really fine points. I feel like that's the one thing that I get from a lot of customers. They're like, can you make the points smaller? And I'm like, there's a point where those points will literally not cut anything because they're too thin.
yeah,
I'm like, you can maybe cut like silk, but it's not going to work for your cottons or anything heavier than that. And then a mid-sized one, and then a large fabric style spring-loaded version, and in left-handed as well. That anytime we make a right-handed product, there's that consideration of should we make it left-handed, and will the market be looking for it? So definitely look out for that. I can't promise that 2027 will be when it comes out, but we are pretty far along on the tooling process. And then we test it ourselves. And then kind of the next step is creating a bunch of samples to send to our trusted friends and collaborators and seeing kind of get their feedback. How does every little part of that product, we want to know, how's it feel in your hands? How's it feel when you're cutting such and such fabrics?
yeah,
And did it perform as well as we want it, or did it outperform? There's a whole lot that we're looking for before we go full on and manufacture the whole product and come to market with it. So there's definitely a lot up there in our heads of what we're working on and kind of things in the back burner that we're hoping we can bring to the forefront in this next year. We do have a ergonomic handle coming for the rotary cutters this year.
wonderful.
So we're expanding that. That's definitely coming this year. And there's also the opportunity for products that we have discontinued to come back. We've seen that where something falls out of favor and then a new craft or a resurgence of a craft kind of starts up, and
Yeah,
we kind of pull out our back catalog of products and say, okay, this is something that the market is looking for. So I think at any point, I know for a lot of companies saying that we have 45 SKUs is not a lot, but I think in such a niche product category that we're in, it is a lot.
yeah,
Um, and it can go anywhere from 45 to 60. Like at any one point, we're kind of oscillating between all these different kinds of products. So um, there's a lot coming out from Famore, and we're excited kind of in the future that we have set out for ourselves. And if you're going to be at H&H, definitely come by the booth. Check out all the products. There's even the stuff that's not Famore. Put your hands on it, play with it. Give us feedback. We're here to listen to it.
that's fantastic. And are you selling wholesale to the shops? Are you selling direct to consumer? How does that side work?
So Famore is in all the distribution channels. We distribute, we wholesale, and we sell direct to consumer. Right now, our largest distributor is Checker, and they have our exclusivity with Famore in North America. But it doesn't mean that a store cannot buy from us directly if they don't
Right,
work with Checker. That's
right.
totally okay. We have our website, and all of our products are mapped. There's map pricing for everything. So, of course, with the way the internet works, it's very hard to, it's like a game of whack-a-mole.
Yeah,
But Checker does a great job of actually going after resellers who are not following map pricing.
right.
So
Who
we
are
kind of work in
under?
tandem with them to ensure that that price is protected. And we never want the Famore brand, the kind of big retailer game that they play where they set one price and then it's immediately on sale. We work really hard on this product and we stand by it. And I think that the pricing structure that we have put together really lines up with what you're getting. Um, we've unfortunately had to raise some prices. We've been very fortunate, though, that it wasn't a big increase and it wasn't throughout all the products. We really spent last year running all sorts of price models, trying to ensure that our pricing was keeping up with the changes all around, you know.
Hmm.
And prior to that, we had raised prices for the first time in over a decade. So it's not something that we take very lightly, and it's not something we're ever excited to do. But what we are happy about is that we've managed to keep our price. I honestly, maybe 10 products went up by a couple dollars, and everything else has stayed kind of at where it was before. So we're very proud of that. I mean, we don't want to be that company that just kind of wholesale says 25% on everything. You know, that's just um, we don't feel like that's a genuine way to kind of operate as a business.
So,
Um,
folks who go into their local quilt shop, craft studio, fabric store should look for Famore products. And if they don't
yes,
have them, you can ask them to order them through Checker.
yes,
But if you also don't live near any, fabric stores, which unfortunately is the case now for many
yeah,
people in the US and Canada,
hmm,
you can order directly, get yourself a beautiful pair of scissors that you will love, or a rotary cutter that you can get reconditioned and
yep,
have for many years. It's a really a good smart investment, I feel like, and it makes your crafting more successful
hmm,
because you can cut more accurately, and it makes it less frustrating for you, and more comfortable. I mean, they always say, like with knives, when you use a cheap knife or a dull knife, you're more likely to get cut than when you use a knife that's sharp and well made,
yeah,
because you're more accurate, it's easier, you're not, putting too much pressure where it doesn't belong and it could slip, etc. So invest in good tools, people. It's worth it.
yeah, absolutely. Um, Speaking to that, we have tons of scissors here just kind of lying around because 100 million reasons why we have scissors lying around. And the other day, I frustrated myself because we use our scissors unconventionally in all the wrong ways. And I went to cut some fabric and it just wouldn't cut. And I got so frustrated because I went through three or four scissors that just weren't cutting. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go sharpen these and I'm going to write fabric only on them.
Right. Yep.
Because opening boxes with all of our scissors that are sitting around is probably not the best case, you know.
Absolutely. Label your fabric scissors. I have blue masking tape on all. I'm looking at them right now on all my fabric scissors that say fabric only. And I brought paper scissors in here specifically for those folks who need to be cutting paper. They have their
Yeah.
options, so you can use those. But anyway, I do love scissors, and it was great talking to you. Thank you so much for being a strong supporter of H&H, and also a very strong supporter of the Golden Scissors Awards right from the start. We truly appreciate it. And we love to be able to recognize excellence in the crafts industry. I think people really deserve to be recognized for their
Hmm.
service and hard work and creativity that they put into this industry. And so it's a thrill to be able to recognize them on stage. So I hope everybody watching will join us for that ceremony on May 6th and get to see these giant, gorgeous scissors.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. Thanks so much, Sebastian.
Thank
And thank
you.
you, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. See you next
All right.
time. All right.
Bye.
Bye.